Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Xbox hack update. We finally have the initial release now of the actual exploit for the Xbox One and Series X consoles. So this is named Collateral Damage from Emma, aka Carrot_C4K3. So if we take a look at this, there's quite a few things to kind of get into here. So it says here, Collateral Damage is a kernel exploit for the Xbox System OS. It targets the Xbox One and Series consoles running kernel versions 4478, 4908, and 4909. 4909 at the time of recording is still the latest update. So, but obviously you need to have the GameScript UWP application, which was removed from the store several weeks ago. So if you don't already have that application on your Xbox, unfortunately, it's most likely too late. So what's important here are the caveats. So this initial release largely is intended for developers, so it's not going to be particularly user-friendly at this point. Also, currently, a way to place files into the local state directory of GameScript is required via an app such as the Advanced File Explorer FullTrust version. This is due to the requirement of placing the stage2.bin and run.exe files onto the local state directory. In the near future, a payload will be supplied which will load those files over the network, so that the initial payload will simply be a script which can be inputted via a USB keyboard emulator. So what this essentially means is that you are going to have to use, at least for this initial version, you need to have the Advanced File Explorer FullTrust version. There's two versions of the Advanced File Explorer. There's the regular version, and then there's the FullTrust version. So you need to download the regular version from the store, and then when you run it and you try and access a directory on the console that requires FullTrust, it will then give you a link to the FullTrust version, which you then download. Now, obviously, you need to have already done that. If you haven't already done that at this point, it's too late, because the risk is if you connect to Xbox Live, then the GameScript app could be, the license for the GameScript app could be revoked when connecting to Xbox Live. So unfortunately, that application is required, at least for this initial version. So if you don't already have that application, you will not be able to run this. You'll just have to wait for the next iteration of this script to release, which will pull the files off the network instead, and that way you won't require the Advanced File Explorer in future versions, but in this initial version, it is unfortunately required. Now, obviously, there are some people in the past who have been risking connecting to Xbox Live just to grab any additional applications, like the Advanced File Explorer FullTrust version. Obviously, that is something that you could do, but I'm definitely not recommending it, because there have apparently been reports of Microsoft deactivating the GameScript app when you connect to Xbox Live. So that is a risk. If you are going to take that risk, that is up to you, but I personally wouldn't take that risk. And then on top of that, you've also got the fact that if a new firmware update comes out as well, and you get prompted for a system update, and if that update patches the exploit, then again, you're not going to be able to do this anymore. So next, it says the reverse shell example provided here requires that your console is connected to a network. When connecting your console to a network, be very careful to avoid connecting to the internet and updating. Try to block connectivity to Xbox Live as much as possible, at the very least by setting your DNS to invalid servers. So the exploit itself requires a network connection, because your Xbox is connecting to your computer's running like a listener, and your Xbox is connecting to it so that you can then on your computer access the Xbox remotely. That's kind of how the exploit works. Because your Xbox is required to connect to the network in order for this to work, you do need to be careful about not also connecting to the internet to Xbox Live. So then it goes on to say that the exploit is not fully reliable. It relies on a CPU side channel as well as a race condition, both of which have the potential to fail. In the event of a failure, the exploit will alert you that it has failed via network output, or the console itself may crash and reboot. So next we have our usage. Modify line 7 of GameScript autosave.exe to contain your local IP address, and then you just copy the text file, the stage2 and the run to the local state directory of the GameScript application on your console. So basically this location here, you need to copy those files to that location using the Advanced File Explorer FullTrust version. Then you just listen to port 7070 on your PC using Netcat or a similar tool, so Netcat or SOCAT, something like that, using the command here. And then you just open the GameScript application on your console, select the Show Code Run window, and run the code once. If the exploit is successful, you should see output on your PC that resembles the following, which is something like this. So then you have future work for this exploit: side loading support, unsigned non-UWP process launching, and SSH support coming in the future. Yeah, if you don't have the Advanced File Explorer, unfortunately, you will not be able to run this right now. You'll have to wait for the next iteration that will allow you to load these files over the network connection instead. So we did get an example from Emma of the exploit loading. If you don't have the full File Explorer loaded, you'll be able to see exactly what it's like here. So essentially, you run the netcat command, the listener, on your computer, and then you run the script, of course, on the Xbox itself. And then once you do that, it should connect directly to your computer. That's why you have to put the IP address of your computer, obviously, in the script before you copy it over to the Xbox. And then what you'll see here is that we get the connection from the Xbox itself. And then you can use this shell to access the file system. So you can see her entering the dir command to list directories. She can create new files, copy and paste files, all that kind of stuff. So you basically have full access, or pretty much full access, to the file system of the Xbox using this. And of course, it's not just file system access, because you should be able to remotely run applications stored on the Xbox using this as well, which could open up some interesting opportunities. And you can then use something like this to then trigger the Xbox file dumping process in the Vermintide 2 game by essentially using this to copy over the modified Lua script and edit the save file that way, so that you can then launch the save on the game and get it to mount to the game directory, which can then be used to dump the game files. So yeah, that gives you kind of the full access there to your Xbox. But obviously there's still homebrew to come. There's still, you know, things that need to be streamlined to make this easier. And obviously the FullTrust File Explorer, getting rid of the requirement for that is probably going to be the next step. But yeah, that is essentially where we are with that. So if you're wondering why I'm not showing this footage running on my own Xbox, I unfortunately have some bad news in that regard. I might not be able to cover this hack in much detail in future because my Xbox hard drive has recently died on me. At least it seems that way. I've been turning it on recently. It's been slow. Sometimes it's not booted, and I thought that's kind of weird. And now it's just not booting at all. I can't get the console to boot up, and I'm hearing a slight clicking sound inside. So I think it might have the click of death, which basically means the hard drive is completely screwed, which is terrible because that is obviously what has the GameScript app and everything is set up on that hard drive. So yeah, we'll see. I can maybe see if I can get it to load on my computer. I might try cloning it to another drive if it's accessible, but I don't know. It's not looking good in that regard. So yeah, this might be as far as it goes with the Xbox hack for me, because I don't have another Xbox console right now that has GameScript on it. So yeah, unfortunately, this could be the end of the line with me with this exploit, but we'll see. I'll see what I can do. I'm going to look into several different things. You know, I don't know anybody who's selling a console that's actually got everything set up on it. If you do and you're in the UK, please let me know. But yeah, that's unfortunate. So, but anyway, thought I would bring you guys this update. The exploit has now been released, but you are going to have to wait if you don't have the Advanced File Explorer with FullTrust enabled. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And once again, I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video.